Okay, Google, turn on the light.
Okay, turning on the light.
Okay, Google, turn off the light.
Okay, turning off the light.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, let's see how to make a smart IoT light that can be controlled by a Google Assistant and also can be controlled by your smartphones remotely with the help of an app called Blynk. The components we require are breadboard, a single channel 5V relay module, a Node MCU, 2-pin plug socket, bulb holder, LED light, a phone charger, and a USB mini to USB-A charging cable, some male-to-male jumper cables, some female-to-male jumper cables, and a bulb. Now, before getting into this project, I would like to give you guys a small explanation about what we are going to do with this project. Well, we are going to connect this LED bulb to this Node MCU. This Node MCU is a Wi-Fi microcontroller which is able to connect to internet with the help of a mobile hotspot or a Wi-Fi router. And we are going to control this LED bulb with your smartphone by the help of an app called Blynk. This Blynk app sends commands to your Node MCU which controls the LED bulb. Now, to control this LED bulb with voice commands, we take the help of Google Assistant. But we have a problem. Your Google Assistant neither cannot directly connect to your Node MCU nor to your Blynk app. So, we take the help of a third-party app called IFTTT. So, we connect the Google Assistant to IFTTT which sends commands to Blynk app, which sends commands to your Node MCU which controls the LED bulb. Now, to make this project feel easier, we are going to split the project into 4. Number 1, we are going to configure the Blynk app in your smartphone. Number 2 is software part. Number 3 is hardware assembly. And number 4 is IFTTT integration. Now let's get into a project. Now let's get started with the first step of our project. For Android users, open your Play Store, and for iOS users, open your App Store. Search for Blynk app and install it. Well, the Blynk app is the most popular IoT platform that works on both iOS and Android devices. This app generally controls your Arduino boards, Node MCU, Raspberry Pi, and other microcontroller boards which are capable of connecting to internet. The app is designed in a user-friendly manner so that you can create the entire graphical interface of your project by just dragging and dropping widgets. And you can also easily connect the app with your microcontroller board with a token called an API token. You have many projects and code available in the internet regarding this Blynk app. You can just copy and paste the code in Arduino IDE and you can make everything work right, easily. Sounds great, right? Now back to the project. Open the Blynk app and log in with your Facebook ID or Google ID. I'll go with my Google ID. Click on the New Project tab and name your project. I'll name it as Home Automation. Select the device type as Node MCU and connection type as Wi-Fi. Here we select the connection type as Wi-Fi because the Node MCU is generally a Wi-Fi chip. It connects to internet with the help of a Wi-Fi router or your mobile hotspot. All you require is the ID, which is the SSID of your Wi-Fi, and the password of your Wi-Fi. Now click on Create. An authentication token will be sent to your Gmail ID now. This is the token that I mentioned earlier, which is used to connect the Blynk app with the Node MCU. Click on the plus icon and select Buttons widget. Touch the button and you will be able to name your button. I'll name mine as Hallway Light. Select the output pin as D1. Here D1 refers to the digital 1 pin of your Node MCU. And change the mode from push type to switch type. With this, we come to an end of the first step of our project. Now let's proceed to the second step of our project. For this project, we require a software called Arduino IDE. Well, Arduino IDE is an open source free software which is used to write code, debug it, and upload the code to your Arduino boards. It not only codes for Arduino boards, it also codes for other non-Arduino boards like Node MCU, ESP32, etc. To download the software, open your web browser and search for arduino.cc. I'll also put the link down below in the description. Now click on the software tab and select downloads. Scroll down below and you will find the link to download your Arduino software. And click just download. I have already downloaded my Arduino software, so I'll skip for myself. After downloading and installing the software, open your Arduino IDE and the interface looks like this. We have two loops pre-written in our code. The code you write in the first loop, that's the void setup loop, it runs once, and the code you write in the void loop, it runs repeatedly. You'll see much in detail about the Arduino and its coding in a future video. Now back to our project. Before coding our project, we have two more tasks to do. Number 1, we have to introduce the Node MCU board to the IDE. And number 2, we must include the Blynk library to the program. Where libraries are nothing but a set of pre-written codes and data. To include the Node MCU board to the Arduino IDE software, click on Tools, Board and Board Manager. It takes a couple of seconds to refresh all the packages. Now in the search bar, search for ESP8266. It shows a package like this. Select the package and click on Install. I have already done this step, so I'll skip this. After downloading the package, again click on Tools and select Board, and this time you'll see an extra option called ESP8266 boards. Open ESP8266 boards and select Node MCU 1.0. Now, our Arduino IDE software is ready to code for Node MCU. Next, we have to include the Blynk library to the Arduino IDE software. I'll tell you exactly why we have to do this. Well, this project, our Node MCU, is controlled by this Blynk app. And for Arduino IDE, this Blynk app is a third-party software. So before writing codes about Blynk app in the Arduino IDE software, we must introduce the Blynk app to Arduino IDE. So that's exactly why we include the Blynk app library to the Arduino IDE software. Now, to include the Blynk library, go to Sketch, Include Libraries and Manage Libraries. And it takes a couple of seconds to update all the libraries. Now, the search bar, search for Blynk. And it shows a library like this. Select this library and click on Install. I have already done this step, so I'll skip this. Now, our Arduino IDE software is ready to write codes about Blynk app, debug it, and upload to Node MCU. Now, let's start our coding. But I have a good news for you guys. The Arduino guys have already done that work for you. Yes, you heard it right. The Arduino guys have completed your coding. You don't have to worry about writing algorithms, finding functions in GitHub, debugging your program, etc. etc. All you have to do is just copy and paste from now. Now, select the file menu and examples. Scroll down below and you will find the Blynk library. Select both Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi standalone. That's ESP8266 standalone. I'll pause the screen for a couple of seconds. You take your own time to select the correct path. Now click on ESP8266 standalone and you're all done coding. Now we are going to make 3 more changes to this program and make everything work right. Number 1. Copy and paste your Blynk authentication token at this place. You can find your Blynk authentication token in the mail of the mail ID which you used to sign up the Blynk app. Open your mail and go to the Promotions tab. You can find the Blynk app mail here. Open the Blynk app mail and you can get your authentication token. Copy your authentication token and paste it in your program. Number 2. Enter your Wi-Fi SSID here. The Wi-Fi SSID is nothing but the name you have given to your Wi-Fi router or your mobile hotspot. I given my Wi-Fi router as Netgear. And enter your Wi-Fi password here. My password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8. And that's all. Now, to upload the code to our Node MCU, connect the Node MCU to your PC using this micro USB cable. And before uploading the code, just check whether you have selected the correct board and the correct COM port. These are the two places where most of us make mistakes, especially while selecting this port. This is because the COM port varies for different users. So, to find the correct component of your PC, open Device Manager. And open ports. You will see a COM port which is displayed near the Silicon Labs CP210X, which is nothing but our Node MCU. In my PC it shows COM8 and this is the correct COM port. So I'll close Device Manager, open Arduino IDE, go to Tools, Port and select COM8. Now just upload the sketch to your Node MCU. It takes some time to verify your program and burn to your Node MCU. Once the code is uploaded on the Node MCU, the LED on it blinks 5 or 6 times to tell you that the code has been uploaded successfully. And when you take a look at the Arduino software, you'll get a message like this, leaving hard resetting via RTSP. Well, actually this is not an error message. It just says that the Node MCU is getting reset after the code upload. And here, reset doesn't mean that it will delete the code you have written already. It's just refreshing the Node MCU before it's working. Now, we have completed our software part. Let's move on to our hardware assembly. Before going into hardware assembly, let me explain you the plan quickly. Well, we will be making a prototype of this project with these 4 components and connect it to the Blynk app. We will test the prototype, and if that works perfectly, we will then connect the Google Assistant to Node MCU with the help of IFTTT application. And finally, we will replace this LED with this bulb and relay. Now let's start our assembly. Place the LED in the breadboard. Take 2 male-to-male jumper cables and connect the terminal D1 of Node MCU to the positive terminal of LED. And then connect the ground terminal of Node MCU to the negative terminal of the LED. To power up the circuit, let us use a phone charger. Well, this is the prototype of our project. Let's test our prototype.
To test the prototype, open the Blynk app in your smartphone and try turning on and off the hallway light button. If the LED switches on and off for this action, then the prototype is working fine. Next, we will move on to the IFTTT integration part and we will replace this LED with the bulb. But I would advise you guys to take some expert help, as we will be working with AC lines in the next step of our project, which must be done carefully, right?
Now let's move on to the IFTTT integration part. As said before, we cannot directly connect the Google Assistant with our Node MCU or the Blynk app. So we take the help of this third-party app called If This Then That, shortly known as IFTTT. Now, open your Google Chrome and search for IFTTT.com. Sign up with your Facebook ID or Google ID and you will get a page like this. Click on the Create tab and you will be able to create your own applet. Well, an applet is a small program with some simple functions. In this project, we will be creating 2 applets. One for turning on the light with the help of Google Assistant and the other to turn off the light. To create the applet, you have to select the trigger action and the trigger reaction. Looking into the concept of this project, we are turning on the light with the help of Google Assistant, right? So, the Google Assistant becomes the trigger action and turning on the light becomes the trigger reaction. Now, to add the trigger action to this applet, click on this Add button. And in the search bar, search for Google Assistant. And select Say a simple phrase. In the first tab, enter the trigger phase to turn on the light. I will enter it as turn on the light. You can also add 2 or more phrases as the trigger phrase. I will also add in the last step, you have to enter the response phrase that Google Assistant must give you for the trigger phrase. I will enter it as OK. Turn on the light. And then click on Create Trigger. Now our trigger action is ready. We have to add the trigger reaction. For that, click on this add tab and search for webhooks. And select Make a Webhooks. And you will get a page like this. Now, before entering this URL, let's fill in the other details. Select the method as put and the content type as application.json. The body, enter 0 within square brackets and double quotes. Well, this is the code that instructs the Blynk app to turn on the light, which controls the Node MCU and which eventually turns on the light. All these work are done by just this single line of code. So simple, right? Now, in the URL tab, enter http followed by colon and 2 slashes, and you have to enter the Blynk cloud IP here. To find the Blynk cloud IP, open command prompt in your PC and type ping space blynk -cloud.com, and it gives you the IP address. This is the IP address of the Blynk cloud. Copy this IP address and paste it in the URL, and followed by a slash, enter the authentication token of the Blynk app. You can find the authentication token of the Blynk app in your mail as done before. Just copy the authentication token and paste it in the URL, followed by a slash, type update and a slash, and now you have to enter the GPIO pin number to which the light is connected. You can find the GPIO pin number by the help of this diagram. You have connected the light to pin D1, so the GPIO number of pin D1 is 5. So now go back to IFTTT and type D5, and now you're all done. Just click on Create Action and then continue. Now, this is what happens. If you say turn on light to the Google Assistant, it makes a webhook request, which controls the Blynk app, which sends command to Node MCU, and which turns on the light or turns off the light. I think it's clear. Now let's click on Finish. Now the applet is ready for turning on the light. Follow the same procedure and create another applet to turn off the light. The only change that we have to do when we are creating the applet for turning off the light is just write 1 instead of 0 inside the square brackets and double quotes. Now our IFTTT integration part is over. Let's do our final connection and test our project. At last, let's do our final connection. Take some wire and do the following connection. Connect a free end terminal wire to one end of the 2-pin plug socket. And similarly connect a free end terminal wire to one end of the bulb holder. Take another wire and connect the free terminal of bulb holder to the other end of the plug socket. And the final outcome looks like this. Now take a single channel 5V relay module and connect the open terminal of plug socket to the common terminal of the relay module. And connect the open terminal of bulb holder to the normally open terminal of the relay module. Now take 3 male to female jumper cables and connect it to the VCC, ground and input points of the relay module. Connect the input point to the D1 terminal of the node MCU. Connect the VCC point to 3.3V terminal of node MCU. And finally connect the ground terminal to the ground terminal of node MCU. Let's power up this circuit with the help of a phone charger. And don't forget to connect your bulbs. Finally, plug in the adapter and your plug socket. Before testing our project, an important point to be noted is that don't touch this relay module while the project is working, because the AC current is directly connected to the relay module and it may cause some serious injuries. Now our project is ready. Let's test our project.
Okay guys, now let's test our project. Open the Blynk app and try to turn on and off this light with this button. And it works fine. Now try it with the Google Assistant. Okay Google, turn on the light.
Okay, turning on the light.
Okay Google, turn off the light.
Okay, turning off the light.
And that's it guys. I hope everything works for you until this step. And if you have any problem regarding this project, feel free to reach me through the mail link down below in the description, or try posting your problem in the Discord server given below in the description. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and I will see you soon with another exciting project. Thank you.